lovies, it's Tasha Monet, and I am back with another episode of The Sims Medieval Pirates and Nobles with Lord Oliver the Great and the Kingdom of Serenity. So the last time we were here, Oliver got himself betrothed and all these things like that. And I know I said that we would do these things in order, but all of the other ones don't actually deal with Oliver as the main character. And while I think it would be cool to play with some of the other ones, like I'm kind of liking where we're going with Oliver. And so this is the one that actually deals with something that he can do, and it's called The Incident, which I think also works towards the storyline we've been going with. So we have The Incident. New information from Serenity Scouts indicates that the conflict between Arabyville and Tredeny has escalated. Emissaries from both territories have requested that Serenity play host to a summit between the Pirate Tribunal and Guild Consortium. Lord Oliver the Great must prepare the kingdom and help to resolve the conflict. So this is definitely something that may be a little bit out of Oliver's wheelhouse, but he's going to try his best to go ahead and do so. So we're going to try this out and see what happens for Lord Oliver, right? Like the Summit for Peace, can he do it? I really hope he can. And maybe we can even get in a wedding while this happens. Maybe we'll have his wedding first before we do anything for this actual summit. So some time has passed since the sailor washed ashore in Serenity, and Lord Oliver the Great had found the gruesome remnants of a sunken ship just off the coast. Life in Serenity had continued unhindered, and people tended to their daily business with little thoughts of conflict in foreign lands. Lord Oliver the Great had ordered a new sword from a smithy in the village and had just received word that it was finished and ready to pick up. So we'll definitely have him do that soon. We're going to have him go ahead and go to sleep, and hopefully we can get married in the morning. So Oliver has finished his breakfast. He is well rested, and he is ready to have his marriage at the church, and so that is where he is headed. We are here with Oliver and Colleen. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Hopefully, they can do the wedding here today. I don't know exactly what this is going to look like, how it is going to work, but I am hoping that it will be a very nice affair.
3 days later.
Are we getting married? Like, I'm a little confused. Okay, it says we're having marriage, but we are not doing anything. Oh. Here we go. The officiator is here for our wedding. Oh, they're giving their vows. Even the person who is walking around during my wedding cannot mess this up for me. I am so very excited for Oliver and Colleen. She is going to be queen, and hopefully they can have an heir soon. Where do we want to live? We want to live in the throne room, of course. Two hero Sims, Lord Oliver the Great and Shepherdess Colleen, just got married and were given a gift. Congratulations. I'm so happy for Oliver and Colleen. Yes. Oh, look at her. I love her. I think that they should definitely consummate the marriage before anything else. So we're going to go do that. So Oliver and Colleen have not actually had a kiss yet. So I'm actually going to have them have their first kiss, which is kind of interesting. You know, they got married and they did the whole thing, but they didn't have a kiss yet. So they're going to do their first kiss, and then hopefully they can consummate their marriage. And hopefully that will result in an heir. I don't exactly know like what will happen with that, but we do want to make sure that the kingdom is protected and that Oliver's line continues on. So I'm guessing we can't consummate our marriage right now because our wife is at work, which is fine. We can do that later, but let's actually start on our quest. So who shall retrieve the sword? A monarch doesn't mix with commoners. Whitney, the servant, shall retrieve the sword. I could use a good walk and some fresh air. I shall retrieve the sword myself. So I think that Oliver would choose this one because he does not think that way about commoners at all. He definitely is one for the people. So he is going to go get the sword himself. Okay, so I'm sure you'll be quite pleased with your new sword, Majesty. I've crafted it in my highest standards. Time to get the blade of oil. Who shall I test it on? So many things to slice, so little time. Let's actually ask our wife for some food. And while she is making some food, we are going to talk to the advisor. Not you clapping at her like that. Yeah, we are never going to do that again, Oliver. So let's see what the advisor says, because I have no idea what could possibly be going on about that. The guild has been raising their prices. They claim it is to do with their conflict with the pirates. I've just received a letter from the guild consortium and pirate tribunal about the situation. They've requested that Serenity play host to a summit so that the guild and pirates can sign a peace treaty on neutral ground. This will be a good opportunity for us to gain influence with the Arabavillian fleets and Tridonian guilds. Send response that Serenity will be honored to mediate their agreement. I should figure out how best to prepare for our guests. A tense situation such as this can be made or broken by the smallest details. Let's see, we'll need food, music, definitely some security. As fortune would have it, I believe there are some traveling musicians down near the front gate. Which arrangements shall I make to ensure our guests feel most welcome? So Oliver and Colleen are going to consummate their marriage with Woohoo. Tomorrow Oliver will really get working on the things that he needs to do. He's going to get the boar meat and the cheese. He's going to discuss security arrangements, and he's going to request a song from each musician at the front gate. He's going to do all of these things because he knows it's important for this tribunal. He wants to make sure that he does everything that he can to make these things work out. So Oliver has made breakfast. He's calling his household to the meal. Hopefully his wife actually gets some food. He also needs to discuss the security arrangements with the lieutenant, so he's definitely going to go ahead and do that. I love how my servant is helping himself to some food. I hope that my wife gets up soon. I think she might still be asleep. Yeah, she is still asleep. Hopefully she gets up soon so she can have some of the rabbit stew that I made, because she made food for us the other day, so we're gonna make food for her. We also need to make sure that we go to the market and get some boar meat and cheese. We can definitely do that, but after we talk to him, we're gonna talk to these musicians and request a song at the gate from each of them. I feel like there might be one more, or maybe there's just two. Okay, there's just two. Good on us. So we're back at the kingdom, and we're giving the food to our servant Whitney that we just got. And then we're going to hold the court for a little bit and hear 3 petitions, because that's definitely something that's important for Oliver to do while being king, right? Making sure that he does what he needs to do to make sure that everything goes well. So Whitney said, "Yes, my lord. I'll make sure to have a fine spread set out when our guests arrive. Now that preparations have been made, I should check in with Royal Advisor Jasper to get an update on when our guests are expected to arrive." So we can do that after Oliver holds court, because he hasn't really, you know, done the things that he needed to do as a monarch. Like, he's been doing all of his quests. So we're going to make sure that he is handling the quest the way that he needs to in the meantime. Well, so Guild Lord Demetrius Landsgrab strolled importantly into the clearing, accompanied on his left by his son, heir Dacian Landgrab, who wore the bored look of a well-to-do noble with no interest in his father's business. Behind them was Admiral Horace Mandrake, leader of the Tridonian Navy. His face was grim and his eyes hard, as the Guild Lord called to Lord Oliver the Great. "Greetings, Lord Oliver the Great. I am Guild Lord Demetrius Landgrab of Tridonian Guild Consortium. These are Admiral Horace Mandrake and my son, heir Dacian Landgrab." So I need to welcome. Let's do a gracious greeting. Wow, look at this entrance that they have here. How lovely. All of the things that they need to come to our nice little kingdom. We made it look nice for them. Or maybe this is theirs and they put this here in our forest. You speak as sweetly as you smell, Lord Oliver the Great. I'm glad to see Serenity has been able to remain neutral in this conflict so far. It must have been difficult with Dread Captain Clarissa Darktide's fleets harassing ships along your coast. Let us be off to Castle Serenity. My lord, the Arab pavilions have arrived at the beach. I shall look after our guests so that you may go welcome the Arab pavilions. We shall await your arrival in the reception hall, Lord Oliver the Great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go greet the others. Hopefully things will go okay. I mean, I know Oliver has plenty to do, and it's a little unnerving, you know. Oliver, I'm sure he is second guessing himself. He doesn't exactly know what to expect. He doesn't know what they're going to do when they see each other. Like, they have a long-seated conflict. It's late at night, and they're in his kingdom, which he's trying to work for peace, and he just really doesn't know how this is going to all pan out. And so I'm hoping that Oliver can help them come to some agreement so that we don't have to choose sides as the Kingdom of Serenity. So the pirates were coming ashore as Lord Oliver the Great arrived. In front with Dread Captain Clarissa Darktide, leader of the Red Fleet. Her daughter, Misty Darktide, followed behind. To her left was Blacksail Corbin Ravenscar, leader of the Black Fleet and newest member of the Pirate Tribunal. Dread Captain Darktide called out as Lord Oliver the Great approached. So we're here and we have, greetings, Lord Oliver the Great. I am Dread Captain Clarissa Darktide of the Arab Pavilion Red Fleet. These are Blacksail Corbin Ravenscar of the Black Fleet and Misty Darktide, my daughter. So let's go ahead and make sure that we give a gracious greeting as well. I feel like we should have did surly for a pirate, but we're gonna do gracious because, you know, you speak like you smell a bit too sweet for my taste. Still, we are honored by your gracious welcome. Let us be off to the castle to get this thing started. I see that you deemed it necessary to make a pointed show of force with your security detail, Lord Oliver the Great. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you are not scheming with Guild Lord Demetrius Landgrab in some ill-advised attempt to bring my comrades and crew to justice. We definitely are not, so announce the start of the summit. And not the pirates fighting. Not the pirates fighting. As leader of the host kingdom for this peace summit, I, Lord Oliver the Great of Serenity, hereby bring this meeting to order. As is tradition, each side is required to tell or to give gifts of goodwill. So, the Blacksail and Admiral exchange gifts. On behalf of the combined fleets of Arabaville, I, Blacksail Corbin Ravenscar, present the golden spyglass of clarity. Its lens can see through even the thickest fog. On behalf of the Guild Consortium and Royal Tridonian Navy, I, Admiral Horace Mandrake, present the jeweled compass. Its needle will present points away from danger. And now, before the signing of the treaty, we will follow a long-standing tradition of serenity, the giving of the gifts, whereby gifts are given to the monarch, who in this case happens to be me. Dread Captain Clarissa Darktide and Guild's Lord Demetrius Landgrab, have you brought gifts for me? Yes, and we both agree that our gifts are better suited for use outdoors. For that reason, we shall present your gifts at the town square. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to receive the gifts from each of them. We welcomed the consortium first, so we're going to go ahead and get the gift from Clarissa first, and then we'll get the gift from here. Your sim has interacted with a bird. Yeah, we already done this. I present you with one of Arabille's finest pirates, a sunset macaw. It will come to you when you use it. A whistle to call it. Why don't you give it a shot now? Lord Oliver the Great, I present you with one of the finest new devices we've come across, a multi-purpose interrogation chair. Much more useful than some mite-infested featherball, if I do say so myself. I've had my servants place one here for demonstration purposes. Please have a look. So we're awake the next day, and the bird has returned, and there are other commands that we'll get to know as we do that. We also need to get the thing here, but first we need to get some food, and then, you know, we'll do that. I think we're just gonna go ahead and make some food. But he's feeling really happy. What would I be without you? So he's feeling really happy about having a wife. You know, like, he's so thankful for her. and everything like that. I think we're gonna make some sweet porridge for breakfast today. But he's so thankful for her, and he thinks, you know, about her all the time. And hopefully, I am hoping that what will happen is eventually they'll have a child or two and have some heirs, because we do have some room here, right? We have this room, and then we have this room that we can make into like a children's room. We're obviously going to fix this room up some, but you know, we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. So we are back here. Let's see here. There's a few things happening, so let's see. So Colleen is chivalrous, which means she's kind, courteous, and loyally adheres to the noble idea of courtly love. Okay, that's great to know about Colleen. What is the meaning of this? Darktide, you're behind this. Admiral Mandrake, wake up. What happened? Where's my son Dacian? Oh, Lord. I'm behind this. I'm behind this? This reeks of one of your schemes, Landgrab. Where's Misty, my daughter? If you've harmed a hair on her head, I'll use your ears to patch my sails and your tongue to swab the poop deck. So, I don't know exactly what's going on, but maybe his son and her daughter actually like each other, like a Romeo-Juliet type of thing. This is nuts. Lord. So what happens? What freaking happens? Hold on, they're waking up. Let us speak with them before we jump to conclusions. What happened here? What happened here? Lord. Not them arguing. Oh my goodness. This is insane. I was sitting here passing time when a strange green fog suddenly filled the room. I grew dizzy and started to lose my balance. I remember seeing some shadowy figures as I fell to the floor. They looked like guild operatives to me, but I was unable to get a good look before I passed out. So what happened here, sir? Not her spitting in his face. Oh my goodness, this is going really badly. This is going so badly. Guild operatives, he says. Ha! He's telling the truth about the fog, but it's obvious. Let me pause again because there's so much. He's telling the truth about the fog, but it's obvious we're being set up by these dishonorable fiends. The golden spyglass I was holding is gone. Stolen while I was knocked unconscious. I'd wager my life savings that Misty Darktide took it while I was passed out and then fled. I told you it was foolish to expect pirates to honor their word, Guild Lord Landgrab. So quick to blame my daughter Misty, but you'll notice that Guild Lord Demetrius Landgrab's son Dacian is nowhere to be found either. The whole idea of a treaty was a mistake. I should have known better. Come, Black Sail Ravenscar, we're leaving. You haven't seen the last of us, Landgrab. Mark my words. This is nuts. All we wanted to do. Wait for the people to leave the reception hall before speaking with Royal Advisor Jasper. Oh, this is so frustrating. So freaking frustrating. Because I don't think that either the pirates or the guildsmen did this. I think that it was something else. All right, everyone has cleared out. Royal Advisor Jasper, I need a word with you. Speak about strategy. Lord, every time we think that we're making some progress, we are not making progress. Well, that fell apart right spectacularly, didn't it, Jasper? It certainly did, my lord. I have a sinking feeling that this is just the beginning of our troubles. Serenity now sits in a precarious position within this conflict. Lord, we have options, Jasper. Depending on how we manage our relationship with the pirate fleets and guild consortium, we may be able to turn this conflict to our advantage. I'll expect regular updates on how each side is faring in their war. This is freaking nuts. Woof. So, Although the summit had broken down into chaos, Lord Oliver the Great was confident that through careful management of guild and pirate relations, the situation could be turned to Serenity's advantage. So I don't know exactly what is going to happen. I don't really know what could be the results of this, but we need to make sure that we're paying attention to the war that's happening between Ariaville and Tridonia, because that at any moment could spill over within our borders. So we definitely need to make sure that we're doing what it is that we need to do in order for Serenity to be okay. And hopefully at some point we'll have a little heir. We're married to Colleen, and things are just, I don't know, things are both looking up and down and sideways and all of those things at once. But if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to see me play Sims or other games live, you can watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/I'm Tasha Monet. As always, I'm sending positive vibes your way. I'm Tasha Monet. See you next time.
Sometimes I feel like I done lost it, and I don't even really know the cost yet. But every time fear is on my mind, you remind my soul that I'm free. I know I can't go on my own. You came so I wouldn't have to go it alone. You took the long road so you could show me home. Found love better than I've ever known. So now I know that I can say you are exalted above everything on the earth that I've seen. Cause I know that my dreams come alive in the love that you promised to me. I'll keep singing your praise